Howdy, folks. Wonder Montage Survival here. This is episode 4 of Adelina Hollenbeck, uh, West Point Survivor. Um, very sad episode overall. I do get what I want out of this one, which is a really big gun episode, which I'd wanted to do. So that was a very nice sort of thing to pull off. Will be that'll be the first part of this episode, and then the back end of this one is we went out scavenging the day after, and I got bit by a very as it's always the simplest groups, you know. It's never in big combat where this stuff happens. And so, unfortunately, you guys can wait in anticipation to see how stupid a death it is that she suddenly undergoes. But I was really happy with the gunplay part of this episode. It was very fun. During the death sequence at the end, what am I trying to think? Usually, because I'm not going to end up loading back into this world, I'm not going to play another character into it or anything like that. Which I really ought to do, or could do, but I'm more roguelike style than I am like repeat save kind of person. You commit to the mistakes that you make. You get to learn from those. The gunplay part of this is really fun, though. Wake up, load up one of the duffel bags with just shotgun shells. We bring our JS-2000 with us, and we just start popping off right outside the Gigamart. And I know I'm going to head a little further west from this point, so that's why I decided to drop the ammo right there. I think it's smart to kind of like isolate yourself a little bit. Isolate's not the right word. Like, set your ammo aside somewhere, so that when you run out of the stuff that you're carrying around, you can get over to it like in a timely manner, but not have so many zombies around you that you can't like loot it or pick it up. So we'll start by going along this south street that borders the downtown region, and we'll pull a really big crowd in from like kind of the rest of downtown and the southern part of town, and we'll kind of loop back around over to that first like north-south road, and then we'll kind of end up doing the rest of our shooting, just doing a really big circle or square, or whatever you want to call it, a complete like box around this area. We draw a lot out. I had to do a lot of dodging in the whole process of getting us going around, but it was really fun. Just a total extravaganza. We ended up killing about 450 zombies in this first day of in just this first shooting episode. And it's so funny. Like, you'll think that you've cleared out a lot in an area, and then especially once you start shooting, you're like, oh wow, there's nobody, or I just haven't put a dent in this population. Like, there's so many guys out here, actually. They're all just hidden in houses or in the trees, or wherever they are, what have you. So we loop around the block, I kind of get up to about the school and decide that that's about as far into town that I really want to head. I feel like the suburbs kind of become their own mess in and of themselves. Take a little break around noon, have a bag of chips, smoke a ciggy. One of the key things during shooting sprees that I didn't really realize early on while getting into guns is it's really critical to carry around beta blockers. For some reason, when I started shooting, I was like kind of convinced that pain and whatever it is, like anxiety or terror or whatever, had like little to do with your ability to aim, but actually it has a lot. It can have a huge impact on your aim if you're being followed by like these big groups and your character gets incredibly stressed. You'll just have a very hard time being able to hit folks. So you'll see here why it's relevant that I dropped off the shotgun shells kind of where I did. Like, we need to have enough space and room to actually be able to reload on ammunition. And so we'll continue this like counterclockwise sort of path for the rest of the spree. What's also unfortunate is I barely got to loot any of these guys. Just again, like for your own anticipation, because we do end up dying in this episode. And I was very bummed when that happened. Actually, I was like very pissed off. I almost went on a second shooting spree, but I'll be honest, I really had to pee and poop, but I also just was like, I want to get this character like done with. So instead of having an angry end, I just kind of went out with a whimper and hung out at home and got her ludicrously drunk and just read books, because I don't know, the tone of the game can be very depressing, and I feel like sometimes the return to normalcy or the return to like an ideal lifestyle is just kind of what I would end up undergoing. Is I'd just find 230 racks and just get blasted on my last couple of days if I knew that was what was going to be happening to me. I'm going to take a sip of my beverage. Decaf coffee and water today. Delicious. These were really fun when I had like kind of these small groups isolated, and I'd shoot over like 4 of them, and 3 of them would die, and 1 of them would have face planted, and I just curb stomped them. There was also a rain that came in, which felt just kind of dramatic on top of the whole thing. I really don't know if rain or weather affects your accuracy. I would imagine maybe it does, because I don't know, this game has lots of like small or kind of incalculable mechanics, or unless you were to sit down with either the code or some like really serious like debug time, you could like get to the bottom of what's going on. But I kind of felt like I was missing some more shots while it was raining, but it was just like, it was a gut feeling. I mean, it could have been anything. You know, the game could have said it's even more sunny than it normally is or something, and that like would have done it, or that would have reduced accuracy. Or somehow if the game were to figure out, you know, the trajectory of the sun and where your blind spots are, or you're gonna get glare in your eyes from looking. Like, and I mean that's not a thing, but at times that is like kind of the level of simulation going on in this game, and then other times you have like the car system, like, which is fine. I mean, it's a serviceable system, but just especially if you like go like drive a real truck or play some American Truck Simulator, and see how like heavy a truck kind of feels, and then like driving a big truck in this game, it just kind of feels like you're just driving this like very light and airy like thing that is also just capable of carrying you. So at about 8, I decided to wrap it up. I didn't want to have to do another lap because we probably would have been out until about 11. We're getting hungry, and you know, your water can only take you so far. I didn't have coffee on me. And much to my surprise, there were actually a lot of zombies like in the area around the base. I kind of presume from the helicopter event because we'd had that the other day, and the helicopter kind of flies over your location, so it's going to draw zombies over to your location, whether or not you see them behind the trees or behind a house or whatever is, you know, up to your ability to perform reconnaissance. But like, yeah, we had a really smooth day of shooting, and I was like, sick, this is wonderful. We're totally set up in terms of food and supplies. Like, I could go off tomorrow and do another one of these, but I didn't really want to. I had some skill building and some other things that I wanted to get accomplished. So I kind of set up my inventory, wash up, fill up, do a little reading. Reviewing my kills. It's just, I don't know, I get very I like don't care too much about like stats and analytics, but I do think it's cool when you get to look at numbers. So we wake up the next morning, and I'm eager to go out and get some looting in, so I decided to do that. I decided I want to go to the hotel and disassemble like just the carpentry disassemblables in there until we hit level 4, which, given the fact that we'd read Carpentry 2, I didn't realize it was going to be such a quick level up, but it was. I mean, we disassembled like 2 beds and then like 1 room of furniture, and we were right at 4. So we were ready to like pop off and get our water going. I also searched over Enigma books looking for the generator book, and that wasn't there. But there's 2 other locations in West Point that you can get a lot of book spawns, which are like the elementary school, which is on the far side of downtown, but it's like kind of right there. And then there's the high school, which is on the very west side of town. And that one has a really big library, and that one can be very hit or miss. Like, sometimes you'll find just about everything that, all the books that you could possibly be looking for, and sometimes you're very disappointed. Or I'll be very disappointed in what I find there. Even though we're only 2 days into, or 2 days since like the last helicopter event, I decided to listen to the ABS. The rain kind of caught me off guard, and I was just like, maybe there's stuff that's going to be brewing soon. Let's like just be ready for that. Not really. anyone who poo-poos my playstyle will be very disappointed to know that the zombie that ends up getting us got us on the hand, and we were wearing leather gloves. So it's like, you can be running around naked, and like the game will still just be like, yeah, fuck you, like you're gonna get got like wherever we want. So yeah, we got bit on the left hand, and there's like one area. Again, I was wearing leather gloves, which is about the best protection that vanilla like offers you in that part of the body. So we could have been wearing like leather jacket, long sleeve shirt, fully tailored, like the whole deal. It really wouldn't have mattered much. So definitely, like, I mean, it was still a skill issue. I kind of ran into the guy. That was like kind of my own fault. I realized I didn't have a hammer, and I was just like, I'm not running all the way back home. There's a hardware store right here that I did not pull everything from. Good on me. We'll just go grab a hammer, and that will be our hammer. Here's our hammer. And I remembered as well that there are 2 duffel bags that I saw on the... there's always like the good-looking zombies who will be wearing like suits or like formal shirts and skirts. And I remembered seeing those while we were off shooting. I will eventually decide to go grab those. And there it is, four carpentry, just like that. There's literally 2 rooms. Not even 2 rooms. We got planks, we got nails, like, we're getting ready for being able to, build some nice floors or something. But I decided it's only 2 o'clock, and we're looking for this generator magazine. I'd like more clothes. I want to kind of start looting some of these guys. I want to get these duffel bags. I was thinking about turning right. I almost bumped into that light pole. And unfortunately, no generator magazine. I do find the carpentry books that I'm looking for, though. Oh, I forgot I looted these. Kind of in the same, like, thing, or vein, though. I was looking for... We still haven't found a belt, despite the fact that we're 10 days in. I think it's really funny that of all the things that you can find on zombies, like, belts is, like, one of them. I almost feel like that's, like, the real apocalypse in this game, is the fact that somehow nobody is wearing belts. Like, everyone's walking around and their pants are just, like, down by their ankles. like nothing wrong with sagging. It's just like funny to think like people in suits just like getting tripped up over that or something. Not much to report right here. Trying to think of other things that I've been thinking about talking about in this episode, but that's kind of it. I don't know. How's everyone doing? Anyone reading anything good right now? Anyone watching any good movies? I've been reading Don Quixote. It's like a hoot. It's probably one of the funniest things I've ever read. It's like super ironical. Yeah, one of the most ironical things I've ever read. And so here, where the downfall happens. If you know me, I'm looking for like little dresses, I'm looking for mini skirts, I'm looking for bandeaus, I'm looking for tank tops. Like, I was thinking it'd be funny, like, oh, grab a bikini and like have that for a day of fishing or something. Have a day on the river. But I look outside right here. There's this group of 5, and they're immediately coming for me. And I'm like, oh fuck, grab the garbage bags, quick, drop the stuff outside, I'll take care of them. And they just come in one at a time. And this is like the worst angle to fight at. I don't know if you guys know that. It's better to like fight going left and right than it is up and down, because it's much easier to gauge the distance between your character. And then that guy, I hear like a terrible slashing sound. I'm like, that was bad. And then I hear the chomp, and I was like, this character's done. Damn. And I was pissed, to put it lightly. I just immediately fly home. I'm going fast too. I mean, I almost like I'm driving the car on 2 wheels at some points, just like going straight through the tracks of corpses. There's a bunch of guys who have come out, and I just like work my way through this group. And like I said, like if circumstances had been different, if I didn't have to pee and poop so much, I would have probably gone off and done one more like shooting spree just for like the story's sake of it, you know, like whoever comes after her might be able to take advantage of the newfound space in West Point. And then I was like, nah, we're just gonna get her freaking blitzed and have her enjoy a couple of last days here on Earth. I didn't even bother to put the stuff up from the loot runs that we just got on. Yeah. Pretty hard time. Yeah, so Don Quixote is pretty crazy. I don't even know how to sell it. Like, again, it's like the most ironical thing I've ever read, which is like insane because we like live in such an age of irony. But like, I think that there's a reason why it's called the first modern novel. Like, before it, like the medieval romance had been really big in what's it called? In like Western Europe. And then Don Quixote is like this character who reads all of these all of these like chivalric tales, um, and he himself becomes convinced that he is like a knight errant, and begins like emulating the lifestyle of a knight errant, but everybody else around him is like, who is this guy? This guy's freaking insane. And yeah, within like 50 years of the publication of the book, like knight errantry is like a concept had like disappeared from medieval Europe, which I think is like pretty crazy. Like I mean that the knight errantry had like defined so much of like the and I mean like Europe, mind you, during like the from like 800 to like 1400 was this like weird backwater of like civilization where guys are like playing like king and queen with each other, and like Asia and Africa have like these very robust like developments going on within them, like technologically and sort of culturally, and but everyone's like obsessed with honor, which is like, I honestly this is the thing that makes it so relevant today, in as like the rise of authoritarianism in our country is both like within America. I'm American, and seeing the ripples of it like extend outward. I'd say like honor as like this fake concept is definitely something that ought to be avoided. You can definitely have like a good name in your community or whatever, but like honor granted to you from like God is just like ridiculous. And yeah, Cervantes just does a very good job of sort of like dismantling it, and by that I mean he just like he makes it so freaking absurd. I think we need that again today, but we need it to be done towards like business people and billionaires, far right-wing pundits, like that sort of group of people. So yeah, for the final little bit, I was just reading because I was like, that's what this character would probably want to do. Like she would just have been like, I want to have been able to build myself my little homestead, or what have you, and just was not afforded that opportunity. And because I had to use the bathroom, so I didn't want to go on a shooting spree. I would have been very distracted. I think we drank like 4 bottles of bourbon in that span of time, which is like pretty crazy. I'm just like skipping through these days. I was like really surprised that it took so long for her to like keel over, actually, because I've had so many characters who like get bit and then within like 45 seconds they're just gone. So the fact that it took her like 3 days to fully fall to zombification was pretty cool. And that was it. That's Adelina Hollenbeck. So yeah, I'm thinking the next character is probably going to be in Louisville. This is kind of my break from playing in Louisville right here, so yeah, probably going to be another like July 9th start, pretty similar setup, but yeah, with Louisville being the setting that we have to conquer. Anyways, if you've been watching all 4 of these episodes, I really appreciate it. Yeah, Have a nice rest of your day. Take care.